So it's useful to understand yourself to get a clear idea of which of these six qualities you have a tendency to have more of, and which you have a tendency to have less of, and which you have a tendency to have more or less of at different times of the day and different times of the year. Because everything is cyclical in the world. This is another useful thing that Ayurveda talks about always. And it doesn't only have to do with your body, but of course it mainly has to do with your body. The beginning of anything is associated with kapha. The middle of anything is associated with pitta. The end of anything is associated with vata. The beginning of the day is associated with kapha. And this is why it takes a little extra time to get up and start moving during the day. And this is appropriate. It is appropriate to get up at least 2 hours, preferably 3, before you actually have to be productive during the day. It is highly unwise to jump up, drink a double espresso, and run out the door. It certainly will make you feel like you are being productive, but feeling like you're being productive and being productive are two different things. Is it possible, physiologically, is it possible to multitask? No, it is not. It is physiologically impossible for the brain to focus on more than one thing at a time. You can temporarily shift back and forth with a relative lack of disturbance of your attention for a brief period of time. But if you try to do this all day long, you will be much less efficient overall than if you just focused on one thing at a time and then moved on to the next thing. Why do people try to multitask? Because they're getting disturbed by the environment. The environment is moving in all different directions at the same time, and they believe they can move in all different directions at the same time, when all that will happen is vata will become increased, because that's what vata does. Prana moves consistently, evenly, and as slowly as possible if you want to age slowly. Vata moves very fast in all directions and encourages you to become less vital more quickly. And this is something that you want to train your body to remember, and that means you have to start off the day in alignment with what is the energy at the beginning of the day as soon as the day breaks, and that is kapha. And that energy will slowly start as the sun gets higher and the day gets warmer and it gets lighter. Slowly there will be an increase in the energy. Kapha will evolve into pitta. In the middle of the day will be the most productive, and the time when you should eat the biggest meal, and the time that you, if you have a boss who is a very pitta person, the time when you should feed the boss something so the boss will leave you alone for the rest of the day. And then in the latter part of the afternoon, that is the time when vata is going to be predominant. And during that time, there's no use in trying to do something that requires attention and decision making if you want to do it effectively, particularly because there's research that suggests that you only have about 1 hour worth of actual decision-making time available to you in one day. The rest of the time you're just pretending to make decisions. So do not try to make decisions in the afternoon unless you absolutely have to. Otherwise, do routine things in the afternoon, because routine things actually will assist you to keep the vata from getting too aggravated. Absolutely, 1,000,000% do not try to multitask in the afternoon, because you will only tempt yourself to have another espresso or two, and then you will be all the more frizzled, and befuzzled. And you will then enter upon the evening in a disturbed fashion, just at the time when kapha will start becoming strong again, which you would like to think at that moment will allow you to relax and embrace the juiciness of that dosha, when otherwise, if you're very out of sorts, you will be so constricted that you won't be able to take advantage of that, and then you will sort of thrash around during the early evening and possibly stay up until after 11 p.m. Is this good? No. And do you know why it is not good? Because after about 11 p.m. suddenly a new cycle begins and new hormones kick in, and if you're awake at that time, then your body goes back into a pitta kind of cycle. Then you become alert and aware again. Then you get hungry again, which is why the all-night pizza place has a spurt of orders coming in at like 12 and 1. And then instead of taking advantage of the kapha to make you sleepy and then lie down and go to sleep, you will be burning through your vital juices in order to stay awake and pretend you're having fun. And then you will try to sleep in the early part of the morning, which is the least useful time to sleep because it is the time when vata is predominant. And therefore your organism is not going to get any kind of rest.